Welcome to the exercise classroom, anatomical, biomechanical and practical exercise education. Today's lesson, hanging leg raise. Introduction. The hanging leg raise is a compound abdominal exercise that targets the lower portion of the rectus abdominis while also engaging the hip flexors and stabilizers. It's often referred to as the hanging leg lift and is a staple in advanced core training programs due to its demand on both strength and control. Its suspended nature makes it unique among abdominal movements, as it minimizes external support and requires significant stabilization from the upper body and core. Body contour benefits. The hanging leg raise helps sculpt the lower abdominal region, contributing to a defined, V-shaped torso. As the legs lift and lower through controlled movement, the rectus abdominis is emphasized, especially in the lower region, which is often underdeveloped. Additionally, regular training enhances hip flexor tone and increases core definition, especially when combined with low body fat. The movement. Joint action. The primary joint action in the hanging leg raise is hip flexion, as the femur moves toward the pelvis. The abdominal muscles contract isometrically to stabilize the pelvis and spine, while the hip flexors initiate and carry out the leg movement. Functional benefits. This movement enhances core stability, hip flexor strength, and lumbo-pelvic control, all of which are critical for athletic movements such as sprinting, kicking, and jumping. It also reinforces the connection between the upper and lower body through isometric engagement of the shoulders and back for stabilization. Exercise execution. Starting position. Hang from a pull-up bar or parallel bars with a firm overhand grip, arms fully extended, and body stabilized. The legs should hang straight down with feet together and core braced. Avoid excessive swinging by maintaining full body tension. Movement. Exhale and slowly lift the legs forward by flexing the hips. For standard execution, raise the legs until they are parallel to the floor. For advanced difficulty, raise the legs all the way to the bar while maintaining control. Keep the knees extended throughout the movement and avoid using momentum. End position. Pause briefly at the top of the movement. Then, inhale and slowly lower the legs back to the starting position under control, avoiding any swinging. Reset before initiating the next repetition. Proper technique. Strict control and pelvic stabilization are essential to avoid compensatory motion from the lower back or momentum from swinging. Range of motion. A full range of motion involves bringing the legs up to at least hip height, 90 degrees hip flexion, though advanced variations allow for raising the feet closer to the bar. Lower the legs fully to the starting position to engage the core throughout the eccentric phase. Common mistakes. The most common mistake is using momentum or swinging the body to raise the legs instead of controlled hip flexion. This not only reduces the effectiveness of the abdominal contraction but also increases stress on the lumbar spine and shoulder joints. Muscle mechanics. During the hanging leg raise, the rectus abdominis contracts isometrically to stabilize the pelvis and lumbar spine. The hip flexors, particularly the iliopsoas, perform a concentric contraction to lift the legs and an eccentric contraction to lower them. The obliques assist in stabilization, especially when preventing rotation or swing. The shoulders, forearms, and grip muscles remain engaged isometrically throughout the hold to maintain hanging position and control. Primary movers. The primary mover of the hanging leg raise is the iliopsoas, which powerfully flexes the hip joint to raise the legs. The rectus femoris, part of the quadriceps group, assists with hip flexion while maintaining knee extension. The rectus abdominis is heavily engaged isometrically to stabilize the pelvis and spine, especially when the legs are raised above 90 degrees. Other muscle roles. Antagonists. The gluteus maximus and hamstrings act as antagonists by resisting hip flexion and providing tension control during the return phase. Synergists. The sartorius, tensor fasciae latae, and pectineus assist as synergists in supporting hip flexion and leg elevation. Stabilizers. The erector spinae, internal obliques, external obliques, and transverse abdominis serve as stabilizers to maintain core rigidity and prevent spinal hyperextension during the movement. Biomechanical considerations. Pelvic stability. A neutral pelvic position reduces strain on the lumbar spine and ensures the abdominal muscles, not the hip flexors, carry the load. Leg straightness versus bent knees. Performing the exercise with straight legs increases the moment arm and abdominal challenge but also requires more flexibility and control. Grip fatigue limitation. Since the movement depends on hanging, forearm and grip fatigue can limit performance before core fatigue sets in. Use straps if needed to maximize abdominal engagement. Swing control. Minimizing body swing is crucial to isolate the target muscles. Controlled motion reduces momentum and prevents excessive loading on the lower back. Training effectiveness and optimization. Tempo control, slow, deliberate raises and descents activate the core more deeply and reduce reliance on momentum. Full range of motion. Raising the legs to at least 90 degrees hip flexion ensures full abdominal engagement, while advanced lifters can aim for toes to bar. Bracing and exhaling. Bracing the core tightly and exhaling forcefully during the leg raise enhances intra-abdominal pressure and trunk stability. Grip assistance. Using wrist straps or alternating grip strategies can extend said duration by delaying grip fatigue, allowing for more effective core work. Safety and injury prevention. Warm-up. Activate the hip flexors and core with dynamic warm-ups such as high knees, leg swings, and planks before attempting the hanging leg raise. Spine and pelvis awareness. Avoid excessive lumbar arching. Excessive anterior pelvic tilt during leg raises can place the lower back at risk. Progressive difficulty. Begin with bent knee raises or supported captain's chair variations before progressing to straight leg raises or toes to bar. Grip and shoulder safety. Use a shoulder-width grip and avoid shrugging the shoulders up toward the ears to maintain shoulder joint integrity and prevent strain. Variations and alternatives. Captain's chair leg raise, similar vertical hanging position, emphasizing lower abdominals and hip flexors. Controlled leg motion challenges core stabilization. Flat knee raise, performed while seated or lying. This variation reduces spinal loading while still engaging the rectus abdominis and hip flexors. Reverse crunch, performed on the floor or a bench, focuses on posterior pelvic tilt and lower abdominal contraction, mirroring the top range of the leg raise. Leg raises, a grounded version that maintains straight leg movement against gravity, requiring strong core engagement with reduced grip, shoulder fatigue. Mastering the hanging leg raise enhances core strength, hip flexor control, and total body stability, making it an advanced and rewarding addition to any abdominal training regimen.